Welcome to the Battle of the Decades, folks. The Sabres Showdown pregame show, live from our booth here in the Odd Club. I'm Mike Shope, taking you up to puck drop. Some notes from this morning's skate at the Odd. Floyd Smith announced controversially he'll play Roger Crozier in net, despite the thought that it would be Jerry Desjardins. Desjardins played most of the 75 teams' games in the postseason. Lindy Ruff says his team is going to have to keep after Crozier to score goals.
Well, I think if we get traffic on him, we know that Roger's a stand-up goalie. A lot of energy in his game, but I think if we get some traffic in front of him, we might have Rada try to run him early and see how they respond to that. But to send a message that we're going to try to be physical. 75
defenseman Bill Height says his team has confidence in Crozier, despite him not having seen much ice time this year.
Certainly, I think Jerry's a little better at handling the puck around the boards and stuff like that. But I think as a pure puck stopper, I think Rogers may be a little bit better, a little quicker. They're both very good goalies. Certainly Roger has more experience and is a Hall of Fame type of goalie. So he's probably our number one goalie.
Curtis Brown says the 99 team he plays for has the advantage over the 75 Sabres.
I think we've exposed back in the 70s, those guys, they don't use video back then, so they haven't been able to pick out many of our faults. We've used video to, our goaltender coach has pulled out a few things on them, and the old timer, he doesn't like to go down very much, so if we can throw some hard ones at his feet, I think we're going to have some success. We have some pretty good scouting, and I think that's going to help us out.
While the 99 team looks over Crozier, the 75 Sabres are really looking forward to having a shot at Dominik Hasek, especially Rick Martin.
We've been dissecting a lot of film and watching a lot of film. We know how to beat them. A lot of teams don't. I'm not going to say. I'll say it post-game because it'll prove out that we dissected it right. We know how to beat a goalie like that. We got to make them move a little more than we're making them move.
Danny Gare looks at the challenge he faces in Dominik Hasek.
One thing with Dominik, for me as a shooter, is to get the puck quickly on him and hopefully catch him by surprise. He loves to butterfly, and when he goes down, you obviously have to get it up high over top of him if you're in tight. So I'll be looking for that, and I know Dominik will be trying to put his big pads in front of my stick.
Well, if Hasek is the wild card for the 99 Sabres, it's got to be Gilles Perreault and the French connection for the 75 team. 99 defenseman Jason Woolley knows that. His team will have to play a more defensive-oriented style than usual tonight.
I think the one thing is they've got a lot of speed, and they all speak a language that I can't understand, so I got to communicate with my defensive partner, and they can all really skate well, and they use each other so well that, especially that number 11, you got to watch him going through the middle. And
99 head coach Lindy Ruff knows that while the French connection is good, there are other players on the 75 team to watch for, including, of course, the explosive line of Craig Ramsey, Don Luce, and Danny Gare.
If you look at Gare, he's a great Western Canadian kid that has had a heck of a year. We're going to have to make sure that our second and third line, we might match up the Brown line against them with Sanderson, who's got real good speed, and look for them to counter.
Rob Ray and Jim Schoenfeld are two guys who play with a lot of pride. Ray says if it comes to blows between them, he'd have to win for his generation of Sabres.
They say how hockey used to be so much better years ago, but I think we're bigger, stronger, faster now, and more dominating, so I think this is actually going to prove the point. Obviously it's something we're going to find the right time, and I think it's time that we settled this little problem we have once and for all, because you let stuff like this linger on too long, and you never know what happens. So it's something that it's probably time now to get it over with and settle it once for all.
That will do it for the Sabres Showdown Battle of the Decades pregame show from here at the Odd Club. I'm Mike Shope. We are just minutes away from puck drop for this historic matchup. Let's send it over to my colleagues Rick Jeanneret and Mike Robitaille.
Well, thank you, Mike. Let's go to ice level now. And with his rendition of the national anthem, here's Joe Byron.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars to the perilous fight
more Sabres Showdown on the Sports Authority, 107.7 WNSA.
Hard-hitting sports talk without the hard edge. The Sports Authority, 107.7 WNSA.
And we get set to go with the Sabres Showdown here at Buffalo's Auditorium. Referee Bruce Hood ready to drop the puck between Michael Peca and Gilbert Perreault, and we are underway with history. Perreault picks it up immediately, busts in over the line. Here's Perreault working in, can't get his shot, cleared it in front. Koshinski makes the save, sent back in the other way. Verada busts away, gets in to the 75's line, took the long shot. Crozier cleared it away, came in front of the net again. Perreault works it to Martin on the way. He gets leveled by Schmeling. Jammed back into the corner. Peca feeds it away. Here's Dixon Ward trying to get to center. Ward getting in over the line. Ward works it down low in front, and the shot right on is cleared away. Robert gets dumped at center ice. No penalty on the play. Crozier handling it behind the net. Steered ahead to Freddie Stanfield. Stanfield works to center. Ducks around Warner. Gets taken out at the blue line. And it slides into the house. Trying to get it out of there to McKee. He works it to center. Curtis Brown comes away. Brown in over the line. Here's Brown trying to cut in. Got it in front. Shot right on. Crozier got an arm on that. Comes in front of the net again. And is sent away to Fogelin, ripping it off the boards. And all the way down the ice. This one is coming back on an icing.
You know, bodies all over the ice so far in this game. And Peca has a big job tonight trying to control Perreault.
Now we're getting ready to go again. Face off deep in 75 territory. Barnes wins the draw, and the shot from the point is kicked away to Danny Gare. Gare comes to center ice now for the 75s. In over the line, and he gets taken down by Woolley. Patrick picks it up now, finding Barnes. Barnes works away to center ice. Grosek going with him. Barnes steers it in over the line, works to the outside. Here's it in front. The shot right on by Holzinger. Crozier boots that one away, and it's tapped back around on the boards again. Luce picking it up for the 75s, and Luce trying to get away now as he gets held up near the Buffalo blue line. Don Luce along with Craig Ramsey and Danny Gare. And Perreault brings it out now, and getting as far as center ice. He gets slowed down, but not for long. Gets in over the line, cleared in front of the net. Richard Martin trying to get away. Broken up and cleared back to center to Brown. Brown hitting the blue line, gets taken down by Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld turning now for the 75s. Dumped it ahead to Robert, across to Martin. He gets belted at the line, and it's sent back in the other direction to Jeanneret. Jeanneret to the outside. A long, weak effort. Crozier, no difficulty with that, giving it to Height. Height starts back to Gilbert Perreault up the middle. Perreault spinning around, getting in over the blue line. Perreault works it down low, looking in front of the net, clears it right in front, and the shot by Martin is dumped to the side. Brown feeding it up to Holzinger again. Holzinger ripping around Korab, cutting in, blast one right on, and Crozier dumps it away. Gabremont left it in the corner, and now the 75s are pinned in their own end by the 99s, and we'll have a face-off coming up.
You know, everybody's attacking Perreault. Martin, I can tell you right now, is going to get all kinds of chances to score goals in this game. Perreault's drawing a crowd. It's open to the left. It's open to the right. It's just a matter of time before Martin gets a clean shot.
Well, we get the opportunity now to see Michael Peca, one of the better draws in the NHL, but Gabremont comes up with that one. Hit it in front, and Verada fired it wide of the net. Kicked around on the boards again, kept in there by Verada. Verada looking for Peca out in front, can't control it, however. And now the 99s will find themselves in another face-off situation.
Schoenfeld, are you kidding me? He's already yapping with Ray. They're going back and forth. It's just a matter of time before these two guys tee off. Just hang on to your hat.
I don't think there's any doubt about that whatsoever, as Luce and Peca move in and get ready for another face-off, as John D'Amico gets set to drop the puck deep in the zone. Gabremont tapping it ahead. Here's Luce stepping away to center. Luce trying to gain the opposition blue line. Does. Loses control. Tapped into the corner. Luce racing it after it again. Gets knocked off the puck, and Woolley steers it up to Grosek. He feeds it ahead to Holzinger. Holzinger gypsy-doodling through center ice. In over the line with a shot that goes wide on the short side. Worked around on the boards. Grosek going after it again. Grosek trying to get away from Fogelin. Now it's kicked in by Zhitnik. Got it in front, and Schmeling ripped one off the stick of Crozier. Held in by Ward again. He gets checked, and Luce comes back again the other direction. Luce gaining the line. He gets the feet taken out of. No penalty called on that play. And it's dumped to Ward, trying to work in. Ward steered away by Fogelin. Dumped ahead, long shot. Crozier knocks that one down. And it's fed away and back into the corner again. An opportunity for another face-off coming up here deep in 75 territory. We're midway through this opening period in the Sabres Showdown. Tapped around behind Crozier, squirts out in front of the net, but it's cleared up on the wing to Robert, and René Robert, a long cross-ice pass to Martin. Martin bringing it over the line. Here's Richard Martin walking ready, scores! Martin top shelf where Bubba hides the cookies.
Oh, I knew it was a matter of time, and sure enough, he broke free. Perreault, I'm telling you, he's getting too much of a crowd. They're leaving Martin wide open on the far side. He took advantage of it, pulled that inside-outside move. How the Sabre defenseman didn't know about that move, I have no idea. They bit down on it, walked around him, and snapped it inside the far post.
Scored by number 7, Rick Martin. Assist number 14, René Robert, and number 24, Bill Height. Martin from Robert and Height. The time, 10:42.
1-0 for the 75s on the Sabres Showdown on the Sports Authority 107.7 WNSA.
In-depth coverage with insightful commentary. The Sports Authority 107.7 WNSA.
75s in front, drawing first blood here at the Odd in Buffalo. The goal by Richard Martin puts the 75ers in front of the 99ers. And now it's Pekka coming in, taking the long shot. Crozier flags that down, steers it up on the wing. Rick Martin comes back again. He has the lone goal in the game, up to Perreault. Perreault getting in, backhand shot right on. Hasek steers it away. Jam back in the corner again. And the 99s will tap it down the ice, and this is going to result in a face-off coming about 180 feet in the other direction.
I can tell you Roger Crozier has so much to prove in this game, and what he wants to prove more than anything else, that he is as good as Hasek. He's acrobatical. He's holding on to the crossbar once again. He's as hot as dog's breath right now. They're going to have an awful time trying to beat Crozier. He's really feeling his oats tonight.
Ready for the face-off again after the icing call. Just a tad over 8 minutes to go here in the opening period. Crozier working out of his own end. He's got to get around the linesman. Scapinello's setting up the screen. It's cleared in front of the net. The shot right on. Barnes letting it rip. That's taken away. It cleared off to the side again.
What's Scapinello doing down there? Why doesn't he move out of the way? Every time somebody picks the puck up, he's standing there. Get out of the way and let these guys play.
I knew he should have retired. Here's Pekka working in on the face-off now. Dumped it back, and a shot Crozier sends off to the side. And a chance for the 75ers to get it out as Korath picks it up. We're going to end up with yet another face-off, and we'll try it again. 7:19 to go here in the opening period. Let's head downstairs and find Mike Schopp.
Thank you. I'm here with Tony Masiello and Joel Jambra. Mr. Mayor, your thoughts on tonight's game so far?
Well, obviously, you have two great teams in two different eras, two different arenas. The old Odd, where the Sabres played in '75 with French Connection and Danny Gare, and certainly a whole host of great Sabres. And now the '99 team headed up by Hasek in a brand new state-of-the-art arena. Two great teams, two different eras, two different buildings, but the same scenario. They made Buffalo very proud, the sportsman's very proud, and obviously it's prototypical of the type of Sabres teams that management has brought to this great city.
Mr. Jambra?
Yeah, it's great to see the French Connection tonight playing as well as they are. Great goaltending tonight. The team is playing very, very well. The colors look great, the white and gold with the swords, and they're looking very good tonight, the team.
Who's going to take it tonight?
I think Perreault's on his game tonight, and Dominic is playing well, but he's not playing good enough to stop Gilbert. And I think because of Gilbert's prowess tonight, they're going to take the game.
Mr. Mayor?
My money's still on the 75 team. I love that Gilbert Perreault, that French Connection, Rick Martin, René Robert.
Okay, Rick and Mike.
That way to try it again. Down it back, and it's fired just wide of the net. Worked around on the board, squeezed to the line, and Craig Ramsey gets it to center up to Luce.
Rick, it's starting down in the corner.
Oh, we knew this was going to happen. Schoenfeld and Ray wanted to get at one another. They've been yapping it up all along, and now they're ready to go. Schoenfeld and Ray stand back and start teeing up on one another. Trading lefts and rights. Down on the ice they go. They get right back up again. Schoenfeld and Ray breaking away at each other. Hammer and Pong. And finally, the linesmen jump in to separate them.
Now look at Gorham. He's trying to get in there. Now Verada has a hold. Down they go. Everybody's into it.
And let's head down to Milt Ellis and find out exactly what the situation is with the public address announcement.
Buffalo penalty to number 32, Rob Ray, 5 minutes for fighting. Buffalo penalty to number 6, Jim Schoenfeld, 5 minutes for fighting. Ray, Schoenfeld, 5 minutes for fighting. The time, 14 minutes even.
As Schoenfeld and Ray send out 5-minute painters, and they get ready to drop the puck again. Brown moving in against Carroll, back to Height, and taken away by McKee. McKee will leg it away through center ice, hitting the 75 line, squeezed off the puck. Height gets it back to Robert. Robert rushing back in the other direction, taken out at the blue line, but manages to get by anyway, then gets hacked over the head, and it's cleared in front of the ice and taken back by Brown. Brown swings back into 75 territory. He scores! Brown with a quick shot. He caught Crozier by surprise, and this one is all even at one.
Well, you nailed it when you said it was a quick shot, and that's exactly the reason why Brown scored. Just 2 or 3 feet inside the blue line. Crozier couldn't be I don't know what he is looking at. He's had a sterling game to this point, but Brown in a simple wrist shot just inside the blue line beats him clean to tie the game up.
McKee and Warner getting the assist on the play. It's 1-1. Plenty more coming up on Sabres Showdown on the Sports Authority 107.7 WNSA.
Inside analysis and commentary. That's why they call us the Sports Authority. 107.7 WNSA.
Buffalo goal scored by number 37, Curtis Brown. Assist number 74, Jay McKee, and number 4, Rhett Warrener. Brown from McKee and Warrener. The time, 14:42.
Even at 1, a little over 5 minutes remaining here in the opening period at the Odd in Buffalo. And we'll get proceedings underway once more. McKee feeding it up to Verada, steps in over the line. Verada busting in front of the net. His shot is blocked in front, and it's sent away to Craig Ramsey. Ramsey bringing it as far as center. Trying to get away. He gets leveled by McKee. McKee turning in the corner, swings it to Verada. Taken off the puck by Luce. And it slides all the way down, wide of the net. Crozier let it play to the side, and Height trying to get it out of there again. But we're going to have a face-off coming up.
After having lunch with a lot of these players yesterday over at Chef's, I mean, they couldn't get this game off their mind. They've been waiting and waiting. The day has finally arrived, and this looks like a hockey club that will do anything to win a hockey game. They're letting it all out.
Well, if you had lunch with him, I didn't even ask who picked up the tab.
Well, it certainly wasn't me.
Here's Barnes getting in now, ready to take the face-off. 4 minutes remaining here in the opening period. Back it comes to Woolley. Woolley took the shot, and it's sent to the side. Up the middle to Perreault to Robert. Robert gains center ice. He gets taken down again. Now Patrick stealing it back for Buffalo. Steering it ahead to Barnes. In over the line. Took the shot. Crozier dumps that to the side. And it's fed to Perreault to Martin across to Robert. Robert brings it to center. Taken off stride. And Holzinger tried to come back in front of the net. Crozier shoots one. Crozier goes down and makes the save. Steered up now to McNabb. McNabb gaining center. He's belted by Woolley, but muscles his way right by him. McNabb works it into the corner. Took the shot. Hasek sends that away. And it's flipped back away and finally is pinned against the boards. We'll have a face-off coming up again.
Ruff is really changing his defense around. The pairings are mixed up. I mean, I've never seen them so mixed up, yet they're effective tonight. And how about Grosek, Rick? Why is Grosek playing so much all of a sudden?
Well, he's certainly getting plenty of opportunities to show his stuff here in the Sabres Showdown. With a couple of minutes remaining in the opening period, John D'Amico gets set to drop the puck now between Luce and Pekka with a couple of minutes to go here in the opening period in a 1-1 tie. Pekka swings it away to Ward. Ward trying to gain the 75's line. Finally does. Tucks it in over the line, then loses control on the offside.
It's like Ward is making figure eights out there. Instead of going in a straight line, he's zipping here, zipping there, but they can't get a handle on him.
Again, the face-off coming up. Brown will move out on the ice and take it against Luce now, down to about a minute and a half remaining here in the opening period at the odd. Gavremont slaps it away at center. Chitan brings it in, took a shot. That was blocked by Gavremont. Luce trying to work it back in the other direction. Gare getting in over the line. He fends off a slash. Gare cuts back into the corner, comes in front with a shot. Hasek slapped that one to the side, and away goes Chitan. Miro Chitan, cross-ice pass to Junot. Junot works it into the corner, looking in front, and takes a shot on the short side. Only 20 seconds to go here in the opening period, and yet another face-off coming up.
Well, you can see why Danny Gare hasn't got any problem scoring goals. He goes where a lot of players don't want to go, and that's right to the front of the net. What a courageous hockey player. Carrier, headmanning the puck to him on the right-hand side. He took off like a bullet, took a big hit at the blue line, spun off the defenseman, continued on for a decent shot on goal.
20 seconds away from what will be a 1-1 tie after one period of play here in the Sabres Showdown, unless, of course, something should transpire within the next 20 seconds, and Gilbert Perreault would like to make that transpire himself, if indeed he could, but Barnes got it back. Patrick, a shot is kicked away in front of the net. Schoenfeld steers it ahead, and Perreault brings it to center. That does it. Period number 1 is in the books here on the Sabres Showdown.
Hear breaking sports news first on the Authority. The Sports Authority, 107.7 WNSA.
1-1 after one, the 75 Sabres versus the 99 Sabres in the Sabres Showdown. I'm Howard Simon. We continue our intermission report. Rick Martin and Curtis Brown, your goal scorers in the first period, and we are joined now in the Odd Club by the gentlemen who brought the National Hockey League and the Buffalo Sabres here, Seymour and Northrop Knox, the owners of the 75 team. Seymour, we'll start with you. After the scoring and the Ray and Shoney fight, this game must rank pretty high in the annals of Sabres history, don't you think?
I thought about it this morning, and that's what it is. So we're very happy.
First of many days like that, though. We're going to have many more years like this.
The atmosphere is just electric here tonight for this classic showdown. Did either of you get any sleep last night in anticipation of tonight's game?
We got some, but I didn't have much during the game, I'll tell you that.
I'm the same way. Just fantastic.
Well, we had great support from everybody on the fans from the Niagara Frontier here in Buffalo, and we thank them for the great support. Without it, we wouldn't be here.
And they've just been fantastic, and look what they brought to the Niagara Frontier.
Once again, our thanks to Seymour and Northrop Knox joining us here in the Odd Club, the owners of the 75 team. Their team deadlocked at 1 in the Battle of the Decades, the Sabres Showdown with the 1999 Sabres team. Second period action coming up next on the Sports Authority, 107.7 WNSA.
Now broadcasting at 107.3 in Buffalo.
Program complete. Enter when ready.
The Sports Authority, 107.7 and 107.3 WNSA.
Second period's about to get underway, but first I'm here with Joe Crozier. Joe, you know both of these squads perhaps better than anyone else. What does each team have to do to win?
I think that it'll be a good battle that we've with Hasek. He's great, and so is Roger Riggs. So it's going to be a good battle.
How about that Pekka-Perreault matchup?
Well, they've always put the top lines against that French connection. The Canadians, when we played them in the first Stanley Cup playoffs, they tried to shut them down too, but Robert, as you know, scored in overtime for the first time ever to get in the playoffs. So, I don't think so. I think Perreault's got too much speed, and I think Martin, he shoots that puck really well. So, it's like a cannon when he lets that go. It's not a slap shot, it's a wrist shot, and I think they're going to have their hands full.
Do you have a prediction on tonight's game?
The 75 team by 3.
Ready to go with the second period here at the Odd in Buffalo. This one is all even at 1 apiece. And the referee, Bruce Hood, will drop it. And Jeanneret feeding it ahead. Trying to go after it again. Broken up right at the blue line. And Schmelik steers it to Pekka. Pekka lugs it in and takes a shot nowhere near the net. Steered around on the boards. Ward took a whack at it. That one goes wide. Held in by Zhitnik. Smellick tried to clear it for the shot, and gun just off the goal post. Now tipped around on the boards again. Verona holding it in. Came in front of the net. That's knocked away. Schoenfeld finally getting it up to Robert, and the 75s can get it out. Worked across ice to Richard Martin. Chopped down by Zhitnik. Verona works it a free, and Ward comes to center ice to Pekka. Pekka being bothered by Schoenfeld. Took a long shot. Crozier no problem there to Fogelin. Up to Stanfield. Stanfield tapping it ahead. And it's recovered by Ray, who works it to McKee. McKee swinging back in the other direction. McKee fills a shot right on. Crozier boots that one away. And the play is going to be whistled dead now, almost 3 minutes into the second period.
Well, 75 team, they're just a bit slow here on defense tonight. They're getting beat to the outside. A good example of that was McKee, of all people. He moves down the left-hand side and just walks around Korab like he was tied to a post, goes in. A great opportunity to score, and Crozier, once again, was spectacular. As far as I'm concerned, he's the first star of the game so far.
So far, for now face-off, it'll be loose against Barnes. And deep in the 75 territory, Woolley's long shot blocked in front of the net by Gavermont, and Gare starts away. Gare bringing it in over the line. His long shot, no problem for Hasek. Patrick steers it up to Grosek. Grosek hitting center ice and working it in over the line. His shot, that's cleared away. Gavermont now getting it to Luce. Luce on the wing to Ramsey. Craig Ramsey looking for skating room, and he's halted in his tracks by Patrick. Barnes starts back in the other direction. Stu Barnes in over the line. He takes a shot. Crozier kicks that one all the way to the blue line. And out to center where Gare recovers. Gare getting to the blue line. He gets halted right there. Ward now swings it back in the other direction for Barada. To Pekka. Pekka's long shot. Crozier got a pad on that. Gavermont swings it to the line, intercepted and kept right in, but it was called on the offside.
You know, a couple players that I wouldn't even make the game tonight. Crozier, very sick all day long. Somehow he found a way to strap his pads on. And there's Ray. He says he wants a piece of Schoenfeld. He's going to play no matter what. He slipped on a piece of ice, cracked himself in the back of the head. Didn't want him to play. He's playing anyways.
Just over 5 minutes gone here in the second period. And the faceoff will be in the neutral ice area. Rolled back to Schoenfeld, tapping it to Perro. What a move by Perro.
Oh,
he loses control finally, though, and Brown brings it back again and gets wiped out at the line. Crozier kicks it to the side. Schoenfeld steering it to Gilbert Perro once again. Perro working it in over the line, ducks away in the corner, clears it in front, and Hasek sprawls to Rob Martin. Kept in now, it's cleared away for Brown. Brown steering it through center. Schoenfeld intercepts and tapped back at the blue line. Warner taking it away to Brown. Brown trying to bust through, and he gets leveled by Fogelin. Now it's cleared ahead, but not out. Height going after it to Luce. Luce to Robert. Robert getting to the 99's line. He's taken away by Patrick, and Barnes starts back again. Here's Barnes getting it over the line. A long backhand. Grosek can't connect on the rebound. Crozier flipped that one to the side. Gavermont steered it ahead, didn't get it out of the zone, though. And another giveaway forces Crozier to come up with another save with 12 minutes remaining in the second.
Well, another. He has been spectacular. And how about Fogelin when he laid out Brown? After he hit him, drove him to the ice, he stood right over top of him and just stared at him.
I'll leave it at one on the Sabres Showdown on the Sports Authority 107.7 WNSA.
Sports talk for smart people. The Sports Authority, 107.7 WNSA.
11:58 remaining on the clock. Second period of play in Sabres Showdown as Perro will move out on the draw again. Zhitnik taking the shot. Schoenfeld blocked that one and gives it to Robert. That's about the fourth block by Schoenfeld already tonight. Ward spins it ahead to Pekka. Pekka trying to get free, gets it over the line, and he gets leveled by Height. Martin coming up with it now, and Perro ducks away, had the legs scooped out from under him. Robert gets squeezed to the wall by Zhitnik. Robert still battling for it, but Shitnik steals it away and rips it across to Grosek, walking in all alone. Grosek, the shot. That's tipped away, and Luce starts back again. Luce feeding it up to Ramsey. He can't get by Patrick, however, and Patrick recovers and gets it ahead for the 99s. Holzinger to Grosek. Grosek's been foiled on numerous opportunities. Gets another try, went to the backhand, and Crozier stayed with them all the way. And now on the offside, another face-off coming up.
Grosek is never, can I remember, ever having so many opportunities to score. He can't beat Crozier. Crozier has his number. He's reading him perfectly.
Halfway through the second period, all even at 1 between the 75s and the 99s. And Don Luce out to accept this face-off again as Ray Scapanello will drop the puck and do it between Luce and Pekka. And it's slipped up ahead, and Luce will get away to center. He's got Gare going with him, trying to give it to Gare. Does. Back to Luce again on the drop pass. Behind the back pass, Ramsey took the shot, and that's broken up. And Dixon Ward starts to come back again. Here's Ward for the 99s and over the line. He loses control and recovered in time to take a shot, and then got wiped out in front of the net by Korath. Gare brings it in the other direction. Gare gets flattened by Warner. Let's get physical. Here's Junot coming away. Junot tried to get to center. He gets bowled over. Shatan carries on. Cleared it in front. Brown the shot. And Crozier kicked it all the way to center to Gare. Gare brings it back in over the blue line. Gare works into the corner looking for a man out in front. Checked by Junot. Junot slips it free but can't get it out. Lorenz kicked it in. He's foiled on the short side as Hasek sends it to the side. And now with an offside coming out in the neutral zone and 6.5 minutes to go in the second.
Well, I didn't think I was going to say this, but at this point, 75s, they're going to lose this game. They've got to get going. They're stalling in their own zone. They have no puck movement. Can't get the puck to the net. They're just having an awful time out there.
And a reminder, of course, that before this game and this showdown ever got underway, the coaches and management decided that if it did end in a tie, as it is now, there would be a shootout, an Olympic-style shootout. But, of course, we got a long way to go. 6:38 remaining still in the second period as they get set to drop the puck again, and Barnes will come in against Perreault. He got it back to Height. His shot gets blocked in front of the net. The rebound shot gets knocked down. Woolley takes it away, working it up to Barnes. On the wing to Grosek. Grosek bumps off a check, brings it in over the line. Here's Grosek trying to cut in front. His shot, Crozier sends to the side, and taken away by Bill Height. Height up on the wing to Robert. Robert being watched, swings it across ice to Martin. Martin blasts his shot. That's knocked out in front of the net. Patrick sweeps it to safety. Out to center ice, Barnes for Holzinger. Holzinger trying to get free, and he does, using the speed. Shoots it right on. Crozier kicks it away. And less than 5 minutes to go here in the second period.
Man, that Holzinger, can he fly? You hit him right on the button, full speed. But once again, the 75 team are just tripping all over themselves. This team looks like it's going to be partying for 2 days.
4:49 left on the odd clock in period number 2 in Sabres Showdown. Perreault out on the ice again for Buffalo. Of course, he's for the 75s. Has seen plenty of action, as you might have expected. Here's Robert trying to work it in low now. Shatan keeps an eye on. Got it in front, and Martin is foiled by Hasek. McKee swings it up to Junot, to Brown, to Shatan. Shatan getting it over the line, but Height came back to get a piece of him. It rolls in front of the net. Height for Robert. Right back in the other direction again. Back and forth they go, up and down the ice. Shatan racing after it in the corner. He scoops it free to McKee. McKee muscled it out to center, goes after it himself, and clears it through the middle to Brown. Curtis Brown, the long shot. Crozier flags that one down and swings it ahead, but it's going to be called, and we'll have a face-off coming up.
Oh, we're creatures of habit, and there's Brown. Once again, he could have went right in for a much better chance to score in Crozier, but he scored his first goal by just letting a wrist shot go about 2 feet inside the blue line. He elected to do it again. I don't think so.
In less than 3 minutes remaining now in the second period. And another draw coming up as this odd has been buzzing all night long in Sabres Showdown. Ahead to Gare. Gare slapping one in over the line. Loose bounces off a check, and Barnes steals it away. Comes in the other direction. The long shot for Ab. Getting it ahead. Out goes to Loose for Gare. Danny Gare trying to cut in. Here's Gare going wide. Gare trying to get in front of the net. He still got it. Scores! Danny Gare squeezed that one between Hasek and the pipe. And another goal puts the 75s back in the lead.
Well, that's why he's a 50-goal scorer. The quick release, a quick little snapshot. Hasek was not ready for it and drove the puck right between his legs. What a terrific little snapshot. Got himself in a good position, and I might add, was hammered right to the ice after taking the shot.
Buffalo goal scored by number 18, Danny Gare. Assist number 20, Don Luce, and number 10, Craig Ramsey. Gare, Don Luce, and Ramsey. The time, 18:16.
75's back in front, 2-1. More Sabres Showdown up in a moment on the Sports Authority, 107.7 WNSA.
Hard-hitting sports talk without the hard edge. The Sports Authority, 107.7 WNSA.
Well, here's a surprise. Luce and Ramsey get the assist on Gare's goal. Now they get ready to go again. 1:44 remaining here in the second period. Perreault can't control the face-off. Warner slapped it ahead. Juneau to Brown. He got flattened, and it's cleared to center ice again for Perreault. Perreault wins one right off the side of the net. Hasek chips it around into the corner. Up to Chitan. To Brown, to Juneau. Joey Juneau trying to work in front, and Schoenfeld finished him off. Back goes Martin again. Martin to center ice. He is denied by McKee. And McKee, with 20 seconds remaining in the period, to Brown for Chitan. Chitan, recognizing time is running out, gets around height. Here's Chitan trying to cut in front of the net, but the buzzer ends play. 75's back in front, 2-1. More Sabres Showdown up in a moment on the Sports Authority, 107.7 WNSA.
Hear breaking sports news first on the Authority. The Sports Authority, 107.7 WNSA.
Welcome back to the Odd. 2 periods complete. The 75 team hanging on in the Sabres Showdown over the 99 team. 2-1 is the score. Danny Gare's goal, the go-ahead tally at this point. Joining us now, the chairman of the board for the 1999 Sabres squad, Mr. John Regas. Now, we had the Knox brothers on with us during the first intermission. Mr. Regas, is this battle of the decades a battle of the owners, too?
Well, not really. I would never compare the Regas culture and the Regas contribution to hockey in Buffalo to the Seymour, Nordy Knox, and all those wonderful people that I first met when I joined the organization. They have a legacy, and so our relationship has always been extremely cordial, and on a personal basis, I can only comment that although this is a fun game, and it's just wonderful to be in competition with him on this one particular night. But if you're talking about contribution to hockey and legacy and all that, then Knox is, in my opinion, personify hockey, and they brought it here, and we're just lucky to be part of all this and sharing it and have a lot of fun tonight.
Well, Mr. Regas, I know you were concerned about the matchup with the French Connection coming into this game, but Perreault, Martin, Robert surprisingly quiet through 2 periods. Are you looking for Gilbert Perreault to make his presence felt in the third?
Well, Gilbert Perreault is going to score regardless, I think. There's an icon that... outside of Dominic Hasek, we've had some great players, obviously, and we got some wonderful players on the present team, but Gilbert Perreault was in a class by himself, and every place I go, that's what they all talk about, is his personality, his skill on the ice. So it'll be fun to see how we match up and who can check him and who can keep that line in check with the French Connection. So I look forward to a great night.
Mr. Regas, thanks again for joining us. The 99 Sabres chairman of the board, John Regas. His team trailing the 75 Sabres 2-1 after 2 periods of play. The third period is next. Rick and Mike will have the call after this break on the Sabres Showdown, the Battle of the Decades, on the Sports Authority 107.7 WNSA.
Wake up with Howard Simon on the Sports Authority 107.7 WNSA.
Third period about to get underway at the Odd in Sabres Showdown with the 75ers leading by a score of 2-1. And referee Bruce Hood will drop the puck. It's dumped back and cleared. Perreault intercepts though. Perreault gets an opportunity. Here's Hasek watching him, and Hasek kicks it away. Ward steers it up to Pekka on the wing to Barada. Barada being watched by Schoenfeld. Barada got away from him and drilled it wide of the net. Ends up caroling off the boards and all the way back down the ice in the other direction again. And it's picked up and cleared ahead to Ward. Now to Pekka. Pekka gaining center ice. Barada had a good opportunity the last time. Took another shot. Crozier just flings that to the side. And Dudley steers it across ice. Shipnick breaks it up. Got it to Brown. Primo can't get anywhere. And it's called on the offside.
You know what's interesting, Rick, is that they can't get a hold of Perreault. Yeah, they know going into the game and they have to control him. Although he hasn't had good scoring chances, he's moving the puck as well as he can possibly move it. He's jumping in the holes, complete control of this hockey game, but still he hasn't scored.
Well, he's got the dipsy doodle moves going, and I'm sure we're going to see more of them throughout the remainder of this third period of play. Only a couple of minutes into it now, and Perreault's team is in front in this game by the slenderest of margins of just one. And the faceoff will take place just outside the line. Patrick tapping it ahead. Here's Barnes working it to the corner. Barnes looking in front of the net. Backhand went wide. Taken away by Korak. Barnes steals it, shoots, scores! Barnes drills a tough shot, and it's all tied at 2.
Crozier got beat again. I mean, this is amazing. The guy was way too far out to score on Crozier. Instead, the quick snapshot beats him cleanly. That's 2 goals now. Crozier's let in from way too far out. He's got to stiffen up a little bit as this game starts to wind down.
Buffalo goal scored by number 41, Stu Barnes, unassisted. Barnes, unassisted. The time, 2:22.
This one is tied at 2, and there's plenty more on the Sabres Showdown on the Sports Authority 107.7 WNSA.
Insight, analysis, and commentary. That's why they call us the Sports Authority. 107.7 WNSA.
2-2 after Stu Barnes tied it up moments ago. We're here with 75 GM Punch Inlock. Punch, Stu Barnes just knocked a dribbler past Roger Crozier. What are your thoughts on the game so far?
Well, I was quite happy naturally to be ahead, but I'd rather have a win.
All right, when you see a goal like the one just scored, do you start to question Floyd Smith's decision to start Crozier tonight?
It would be nice to win for nothing, but I'd rather have a win. That'll be an awful lot better.
All right, thanks, Punch. Let's send it back to Rick and Mike.
Dr. Cichon, please call your answering machine.
And the 2-2
Dr.
tie.
Cichon, please call your answering machine.
Get ready to go again here on Sabres Showdown. Cleared around into the 75 end, and it's going to be held there by Crozier, and we'll do it again.
Boy, Rick, it was interesting, wasn't it, going into the media room before the game, and all the dignitaries were down there. Guys we haven't, get to talk to very often. It was good to see them again.
Well, obviously, anytime there's a free meal, you'll find the dignitaries. We know that.
Oh, they'll be lined up cross-piled, as a matter of fact.
Here's Shatan working it up to Warner now for Brown. Brown got hacked by Schoenfeld. No penalty called. Dumped in the other direction. Perreault gets stopped, and it's cleared to Shatan. Shatan to the outside on Schoenfeld. Shatan looking in front of the net, and Schoenfeld came back and wiped him out. Martin now steering it up to Gare. Gare gains center ice. He got knocked off his feet, but still, the referee has put away his whistle. Bruce Hood. Back comes Barnes, tapping it in over the line. Ramsey had it stolen by Holzinger with a shot. That one at the goal post, and it's cleared off into the corner. Now dumped up to Loose again. Up to Gare on the wing. Gare coming back, getting in to the zone, and drills a shot. Rebound, scores! Awful rebound, shoveled in by Don Loose on Danny Gare's rebound.
And guess what? A backhand shot. What else from Loose The rebound was there. He took advantage of it, didn't waste any time. Hasek was down and out, actually sliding over to the left. Luce picks it, goes to the backhand, and raises the puck up tight underneath the crossbar. Here we go again. Is this game going to be great in the last part here?
And the 75s pop right back out in front and have a 3-2 lead with about 14 and a half minutes remaining to play here in period number 3.
Buffalo goal scored by number 20, Don Luce. Assist number 18, Danny Gare. Luce from Gare. The time, 5:29.
From the Odd in downtown Buffalo, and we get set to go again. Pekka coming out against Harrell for this face-off. As soon as we get Bruce Hood into position, and back it goes to Schmelik. Up for Ward and over the line, can't get away. Robert got it across to Perreault. Perreault bringing it to the line, his long shot. Hasek flings that one off into the corner. Steered in front of the net again. Hasek doing the Gumby, makes the save. And he hangs on to it long enough to get another face-off. Barnes getting ready to take the draw now for the 99, finding Grosek on the wing. He's trying to pull away from Gare. And Grosek gets in over the line. The 2-18s side by each going down the ice. Crozier makes a save, and it's dumped up to Ramsey. Ramsey swinging it through center to Luce. Here's Luce with an opportunity. Fills a shot right on, and Hasek sends that to the side.
It's amazing, isn't it? Don Luce he always scores his goals in the backhand, where most people score it in the forehand. But he prefers actually shooting a puck with a backhand shot. He's so accurate.
We've got 12 and a half minutes remaining now here in the third period. Again, if this game should be tied, it will go to an Olympic-style showdown. That was decided before the game by the management of both teams. Pekka trying to get back to center, got hooked down by Perreault, and Verada checked as he tries to dump it in. Height now steers it to Robert, to Martin, to Perreault. Perreault busts back through the middle again. He in over the blue line, spins around and lets the shot go, but it's cleared away, and Pekka finds Verada. Verada in over the line, took the shot. Crozier smacks that one up on the wing, and Verada stealing it away again, but can't get free. And it's broken up at center. Here's Lorenz with an opportunity. He got tripped up, and a penalty coming up here.
Well, there should be. Lorenz would have been scot-free to go in for a breakaway, chopped down to the ice. We'll take a look at it as these two players fight it out inside the blue line. And Verada at the last moment, I think he realized he couldn't catch Lorenz. Of course, Lorenz with that good foot speed, and he just reached out and chopped him to the ice.
Well, Verada gave him a two-hander, and he'll pay for it with 11 minutes to go here in the third period. And that has Verada a little bit upset in the box, moving some furniture in there, but no doubt about it, he deserved it, and he got it.
Uh-oh. Look at these two.
Yeah, just a little pushing and shoving going on the face-off.
Keep an eye on Pekka and Gare.
Steered back into the corner again, taken away by Schmelik to Barnes. Barnes can't get it out, gets another try, and flings it off the glass and down the ice to take some time off the clock. 1:20 left in the power play now. Lorenz up to Gare. Gare bringing it in over the line. Woolley steals it away to Pekka heading in the other direction. And then he fires it, and that ends up right in the players' bench area. Now what's going on? Play is called. Is that a bird? Is that a bird?
Did you see what happened?
Jim Lorenz got hacked it and knocked it right out of the air. That's a bat. A bat. Invaded the eye.
Call him the Batman.
Well, you call him the Batman, but that's one dead bat.
He picked it right out of there. He didn't miss it. It's amazing. It was going flying right by his head. Reached up with his stick and just chopped it.
Well, this ought to be fun. Little Ron Asselstein, the linesman, tries to pick it up and get it out of here. He's looking for a shovel or something to get it out. But actually, well, Rob Ray said, that's no problem. I'll pick it up. Heck, I lived on a farm. I don't have any trouble with that. He just picks it up and scoops it over the boards, and that sends some people scurrying.
Knowing Razor, he'll take his head right off. Boy, is he angry tonight. He wants this game.
Ready for another face-off now, midway through the third period. And the 75s are still on the power play. Pekka trying to get free. Schoenfeld brings it back again to Perreault. Perreault's long shot. Hasek no problem to Zhitnik. Zhitnik banked it off a skate out to Brown at center ice. In the dying seconds of the penalty, Pekka taking a shot. Crozier kicks that one right to Schoenfeld.
You know, it's interesting, Rick, you talk about how big this game is. The National Hockey League went out and paid the great contemporary artist Leroy Neiman $200,000 to sit in the penalty box tonight and draw a picture of the French Connection in action.
And Floyd Smith up on the bench at the 75 bench looking a little bit upset, and he's upset because Jerry Korab has just taken a high sticking penalty. Didn't see that one, but indeed Korab is in the penalty box. And that means that the 99s will now move on to the power play with an opportunity to tie this game up. They're down by 1, 3-2, 9 minutes to go here in the third period. Patrick takes a shot. Rebound in front. Barnes is foiled. And it's recovered, but too late. The puck was held long enough for another face-off.
You think this game isn't tight? You take a look up in the press box behind us here, Rick. You got Azar and Kilgore. They're pacing down at one end. You got Stan Baird and Chuck Healy. They're pacing at the other end. Everybody is so wired here for this finish with a little under 9 minutes remaining.
75s are back in front, 3-2. Plenty more coming up in a moment on the Sabres Showdown right here on the Sports Authority 107.7 WNSA.
In-depth coverage with insightful commentary. The Sports Authority 107.7 WNSA.
Let's head downstairs and find Mike Schultz.
Thanks, Rick. We talked with 75 GM Punch Imlach. Now it's equal time with Darcy Regier. Both you and Punch pulled off big trades this season. Punch sent Mike Robitaille and Jerry Meehan to Vancouver for Jocelyn Gabremont. You picked up Joe Juneau, Stu Barnes, Rhett Warner. Which team is more improved, do you think?
Well, I think we did. I think that while Punch was able to get Jocelyn, we were able to get two quality players that one will put on Jocelyn, the other one will be free to create the scoring chances that we think we can create, and so I think Juno will go. We'll put a Frenchman on a Frenchman, and hopefully nullify the situation and create new opportunities for Barnes.
Rumor has it that you and Punch have a side bet that would involve you wearing Punch's hat if your team loses. Is that true?
Not only will I wear his hat, I have to sit in the stands up in the corner where he used to sit, and take the wrath of the loss, but I'm fairly comfortable we won't be in that position.
Thank you, Darcy. Back to Rick and Mike.
Still the power play in effect for the 99 squad. Schoenfeld blocking it in front of the net. It slithers off to the side. Verona keeping it in. Good shot. That's knocked down in front and taken away as Crozier cleared it to the side, but he did so a little bit late. The whistle had already gone, and they'll be dropping it again. 1:20 left in the power play opportunity. And, of course, as we look down broadcast row here at the auditorium, Ted Darling doing the television play-by-play. Just a booth or so away from us, high above the ice here at the Odd. Shipnick back at the point, taking his shot. That's blocked in front. Rebound is cleared away by Crozier. Dumped up the middle, and Jim Lorenz starts to center ice. Trying to take some time off the clock. He'll crank one in. Hasek holding it and steers it up ahead, and Pekka comes back again. Pekka gaining center ice, pulls away from one. Here's Pekka now in over the line. Pekka took the shot. Crozier cleared it away. Vogelin to Lorenz. Lorenz through the middle to Ramsey. He gets checked. Then it's broken up by Schoenfeld up to Ramsey again. Lorenz chugging after it, trying to catch up with the puck. Korab helps him out. Back it comes, and it's drilled right on. But Verona starts away. Verona with a little over 6 minutes to go in the third period. The long shot. Crozier dumps it up on the wing. Sanderson getting it off to Brown. His shot is flagged down by Crozier, given to Schoenfeld. Not out. Brown keeping it in. That's broken up. Tipped in front of the net again. And cleared ahead to Korab. Korab trying to get free as he gains center ice. Schmelik keeping an eye on him. It's dumped across ice, worked back into the corner. Loose cleared it free, and it's dumped ahead now to Brown. Brown bringing it back in the other direction, getting in over the line. Here's Brown to the outside, trying to cut in front, took the shot on a bad angle. Crozier had no difficulty. Korab brings it back for the 75s. Korab knocked off stride at center ice. Brown coming the other way to Sanderson. Sanderson flipped it in front, intercepted. Korab at center again. He leads the rush, and then he gets knocked down. And it slides in wide of the net. 3.5 minutes remaining on the clock here in the third period. And the 75s in front, 3-2. Korab's long shot. Hasek taps it away, and it goes up to Schoenfeld, to Loose, to Ramsey. Long shot, and Hasek makes the save with his head. Getting it around on the board. Back to Schoenfeld, a whack at it. Another crack at it, deflected wide. Loose's shot, and Hasek steers that one away. Barnes coming back in the other direction. 2:15 remaining here in regulation. Here's Barnes busting in on goal. Backhand. That's good. Ducked away by Crozier. Kicked in there, though. Knocked in front of the net. Crozier with another save. And they jam in front of the net, and finally play is called.
Boy, this is such a tight game. I tell you, I have no idea why Carrier is running up the ice as much as he has been. And then on top of that, Korab, when he's out, he's doing the same thing. Why are they gambling here? There's so much at stake. There's just a matter of, a minute and 42 seconds. Stay back and play defense.
That's all that's left on the clock in regulation time. A 3-2-75 lead, and time is wasted as far as the 99ers are concerned. There's a shot by Pekka. That's right on. He scores! Michael Pekka! He grazed that one in off the goaltender Crozier, and he ties it at 3!
Oh, boy, this is the finish, isn't it? Just what everybody expected. And I'm going to tell you something. Pekka deserves this goal. He has done a terrific job tonight checking Perreault. He's been all over the ice. And on top of that, he had to beat a goaltender who was right on top of his game and nailed him with a perfect snapshot between the legs.
Buffalo goal scored by number 27, Michael Pekka. Assist number 44, Alexei Jeanneret. Pekka from Jeanneret. The time, 18:26.
Just 1:34 left on the clock in regulation time. This one is all tied up as 3 as Michael Pekka has knotted it for the 99ers. And time is wasted, and of course, looming large is a shootout, which would be the first one ever in the auditorium if it should take place, but still. 1:34 left on the clock, and the face-off back at center ice. Perreault against Barnes. Tip to Height. Height swings it to Barnes. Barnes gets checked. Perreault helps out. Perreault brings it in the other direction to Robert. Robert doesn't want any shootout. He clears it to Martin. Back to Robert, and he got wiped out. Perreault keeping it in there. Knocked down. Robert gave it away to Trocheck. Up for Holzinger. Holzinger legging it in over the line. Here's Brian Holzinger rocketing right in on goal. Takes the shot, and Crozier makes the save. Schoenfeld back to Perreault again to Robert. Robert in the other direction. 4 seconds to go, and we're going to a shootout.
What a finish. You know, could you ask for anything better? Everyone in this building, they're all standing, pounding their feet, clapping their hands. They know what's coming up, something they haven't watched before in this building.
And let's go down now to Howard Simon.
Regulation hockey is done, and nothing has been decided. 3-3. And join me, Howard Simon, for the HSBC Stereo Advantage postgame show. We'll talk with both head coaches, and we'll put a wrap on what is sure to be a very exciting finish. Rick and Mike, back up to you.
History is about to be made at the auditorium in Buffalo. A shootout looms large. And the coaches, Floyd Smith and Lindy Rupp, have chosen their shooters. For the 99, Miro Shatan, Jeff Sanderson, Joey Juneau, Curtis Brown, and Michael Pekka. And for the 75s, Floyd Smith's choices are Gilbert Perreault, Rene Robert, Richard Martin, Danny Gare, and Don Luce.
Look down on the far corner. There goes Imlach. He can't stand the tension. I know where he's going. He goes along the outside of the dressing room and knocks 3 times on every door. He's the most superstitious man I've ever known. Now you've got John Regas, who's usually pretty calm and relaxed. He's pacing up and down, and Seymour and Norty, they have their wives. They're heading down by the dressing room. Is this something or what?
The pressure is on the goaltenders, and the pressure for the first shot will be on Roger Crozier. That's Miro Shatan. Here he comes. Shatan walking right in on Crozier. Shatan shoots on, and Crozier makes the save.
Well, that's their key guy, Rick. This hurts. Shatan is the one man they must have produced, and he didn't produce. Crozier read him like a book.
Now the captain of the 75's team, Gilbert Perreault, will have an opportunity to take this penalty shot against Dominic Hasek, and that's basically what it is in a shootout, simply penalty shots. Perreault picks it up at center ice. He sails in over the blue line. Will he shoot or make the move? He shoots it, and Hasek pulls the gap and makes the save.
Two of the greatest Sabre players to ever wear this uniform, and they couldn't do it. Great save, nice try, but no cigar.
Sanderson's turn to try and find the cigar as he will take the next shot on goal and work it in against Roger Crozier. Both goaltenders have been stellar tonight. Here's Sanderson now coming right in on goal again. Jeff Sanderson shot, and again Crozier makes the save, and the 75ers celebrates.
Look at the size of Crozier. I mean, I see more meat on a butcher's apron. He has to be about 140 pounds, soaking wet, and just stole the shot away from the speedy Sanderson.
And so another try for the next member of the French Connection, René Robert's opportunity to try and break the 0-0 deadlock as far as the shootout is concerned.
Think you'll go low, Rick?
Well, I don't know. We'll find out as Hasek gets set and Robert waltzes right in. Took the shot, and Hasek went with him all the way and makes the save. Robert looking for the corner. Hasek took it away from him.
You know, he didn't go low. He didn't go high. Hasek came out and he just shot it right into the crest area.
Joey Jeanneret will have an opportunity now. He is the third of the 99ers to shoot for Lindy Ruff and company here at the Odd. In the Sabres Showdown, Jeanneret comes in now on Crozier. Jeanneret shoots, scores! Jeanneret finds an opening, drills it home, and the 99ers have taken the lead.
More pressure mounts. Regier picks this guy up late just to do what he pulled off. Moved the goalie to the far side and slipped it the opposite way. Nice little snapshot.
50-goal scorer Richard Martin will try now to tie it up as he'll come back for the 75ers. Midway through this Olympic-style shootout, Martin coming in on goal. He takes the shot. Hasek just stopped it and knocks it away with disdain.
That's not good. Martin must score. He's the best scorer on this team along with Gare, and he was just stoned.
1-0 remains the score in favor of the 99ers. Curtis Brown, the fourth of Lindy Ruff's shooters, is looking to make it 2-0 now if he can penetrate the defense of Roger Crozier. And he gets the chance right now. Curtis Brown coming in on goal. He took the shot, and Crozier stands tall, and he clears it away.
Yeah, he could have salted the victory, but probably the easiest save of all. Boy, it's starting to build. Here comes Gare. You got a bad ticker? Shut the radio off.
Well, Danny Gare now looking to score a goal. Otherwise, the pressure is really going to be on.
Listen to the crowd.
75ers, they're whooping it up here at the Odd. Gare comes in now, takes a shot, and Hasek will stop that one. And again, the 75ers are foiled in their opportunity to tie it.
I thought Gare was going to slide to the left before he shot that puck. He didn't, and I think Hasek knows him like a book, and he played him like he knows him like a book. It was a simple save.
The first shooter for the 75ers was the captain, Gilbert Perreault, and now the fifth shooter for the 99ers is Michael Pekka, the captain of the 99 squad. Pekka will get a chance to try and boost it up to a 2-0 count. Takes a shot. Oh, he fired it wide of the net. He missed by a foot. And Crozier didn't even have to make the save.
Well, I don't know what Michael was thinking about. First of all, he shoots the puck about 1.5 feet inside the blue line. What was he thinking of? Why didn't he go in a little closer? He elected to try to beat him with a 40-foot slap shot? Are you kidding me?
Last gasp time for the 75s. They trail 1-0 in the shootout. It's all up to Don Luce. He must score on Dominic Hasek to prolong it. Luce picking up the puck at center ice. Moving in on Hasek. Here's Luce. Take the shot, and he scores! And the shootout is all tied in one apiece.
Oh, boy. A pressure player, and what else is new? He seems to score when the pressure is greatest. He got Hasek to open the legs up, and he didn't waste any time just squeaking between the legs. Rick, this place, you could hear a pin drop before he went in to take that shot.
It is back to the top of the list. All tied up in the showdown and one apiece.
There's so much honor at stake here. I know it's important to win, but there's a lot of honor at stake.
Hero Chatan's turn on Crozier. Chatan shoots it, and Crozier kicks that one away. And now we are down to yet one more opportunity for the 75ers.
Is this great or what?
And you know who's going to take this one? Of course, they go back to the captain again. Now, Gilbert Perreault was foiled on his first opportunity at Dominic Hasek. Obviously, he would like to atone for that. If we're in a sudden death situation now, the next goal that is scored will be the winner of this dramatic Sabres showdown here at the Odd in Buffalo. Gilbert Perreault with an opportunity to take it all home for the 75ers. And everybody looking on almost silently here in the Odd as Perreault comes in on goal. Here's Gilbert Perreault, the shot, he scores! Perreault! And the 75ers have conquered the 99ers!
Well, I got to tell you on this goal, Rick, with his great lateral movement, something that brought him into the National Hockey League. He could sweep left and right at least 10 feet in a bat of an eye, had Hasek completely hog-tied, slipped the fly along the ice, and this is the first time I can remember everyone in this building was standing on their feet. You could hear a pin drop, and what did he do? He went in and did what he could do best, and that's scored.
Well, the 99ers may be disappointed that they lost, but this sold-out crowd is not disappointed whatsoever. It's been a dandy.
Inside analysis and commentary. That's why they call us the Sports Authority. 1077 WNSA.
Welcome back to the Odd. The showdown is complete. The battle of the decades goes to the 1975 Sabres, victorious in a sudden death shootout. 3-3, this game was tied at the end of regulation. After the first shootout, a tie at 1. And then Gilbert Perreault, a sudden death shootout goal, as we welcome you to the post-game show. Let's send it over to the podium and begin our post-game comments. We'll hear from the coach of the 99 squad, Lindy Rutter.
Lindy, after Dominic played such an outstanding game, is it somewhat strange to see this whole situation come down to a one-on-one shootout?
Well, I knew that Dominic had played a heck of a game for us. I think anytime you get in that one-on-one scenario, you got a great player on their side, and you got a great goaltender, and it looked like a pretty even matchup. I think the thing about Gilbert Perreault has been such a great player, even for his first 3 or 4 years, that he deserved to. If anybody's going to get the goal, I guess you'd like to see him get it.
You looked a little upset at some missed calls through the course of the game, and you even threw a water bottle at one point. Could you comment a little bit about the way Bruce Hood carried on with the game today?
Oh, it was definitely a couple calls he could have made. I thought the way our power play had been going, I thought if Hood makes the call, obviously it would give us an opportunity to win the game. It wouldn't have been going to a shootout, but you get in those tight games and looking for a call late. We didn't get it.
Lindy, one more, Lindy?
Thanks, Lindy. Floyd Smith is now here to entertain any questions from the media.
Floyd, the Pekka line held the French Connection at just one goal during regulation. Do you think all that attention you paid to Perreault gave the loose line the ability to open up a little bit?
Well, one of the good things about this team is we have more than one line that can score, and if one line happens to have an off night and get shut down, then we're very fortunate to have another line step up to the plate.
The 99 team complained about the lack of calls from Bruce Hood, the official tonight. What do you think about the officiating?
Well, as usual, the officiating always comes into play in big games, and Bruce is well known for not calling penalties in games that are very important, and he let the players play, and I think that's the way that the players would like it, and that's definitely the way the coaches would like it.
Coach, how about your thoughts on starting Roger Crozier on goal tonight?
Well, there's no question that Roger's one of the premier goalies of our time, and when he's able and feeling well enough to play, then he plays. That's the bottom line.
It looked like you purposely tried to put Schoenfeld against Ray's line early in the game. Were you just trying to get the inevitable over with?
Well, it was no accident. We always like to have physical players on the ice when the other team has physical players, and you know that Jimmy is very well at handling himself, and I was very surprised to see that Rob Ray would even think about taking him on.
Boyd, how about just your feelings on winning this kind of a game?
We're very happy that, in a one-game showdown, there's a lot of things can happen. We're well aware of that, but we felt pretty confident going in. We felt that we had the stronger team, but, good goaltending is a game that levels the playing field for a lot of things, and, we're kind of proud of the old colors and the old style, and the old style of the 70s against the style of the 90s, and to prevail was very good. We're very happy about it.
Thanks, Floyd. Thanks, Floyd.
That concludes WNSA's Sabres Showdown, a battle of the decades, a program created to celebrate the rich history of the Buffalo Sabres franchise and honor two outstanding teams from two different eras. This show was intended purely for the enjoyment of Sabre fans everywhere, and to bring together, if only in the minds of the listeners, some of the greatest players ever to don a Sabres sweater. Our thanks to Rick Jeanneret, Mike Robitaille, Howard Simon, Mike Schoch, Stan Roberts, Milt Ellis, and producer Steve Cichon for a wonderful job. And especially to the Buffalo Sabre players who participated and made this production possible. This is WNSA's General Manager Bob Koshinski, thanking you for listening and for your appreciation of Sabres Showdown.